Howard here in the first 10 minutes of this one.
Yeah, they can't be worrying about fouls. The only guy they got to worry about is Horford, because Horford's the only one of these people who can score the ball.
Only 3 minutes scored. A deep inside catch, and Collins wraps up Howard and is going to send him to the line. You know, that's actually good for Collins because he drew 2 fouls in 14 seconds when he came in the other night. I think it took him all like 9 seconds there.
Anytime that Howard is running the floor, watch where he stops. He stops right there on the defensive line, the defensive circle. And that is, but once he makes the catch, he doesn't even need a dribble. You just do a drop step, you go up and you can dunk, you can do whatever you want. The main thing is that they'll also do that with him when he sets a screen and a pick and roll on the wings, he'll roll to that spot. So if your defender playing him tries to trap the dribbler on the pick and roll, he's going to be open in the lane, or he's going to force your baseline rotations. Big thing, if you play in front of him, they throw the lob over the top. He's a handful, there's no doubt about that. I just like his energy, Mike, in his first 2 games.
And his attitude, had a great attitude adjustment after the frustration of the Bobcat series, in part credited to his dad suggesting him to go see the movie Peaceful Warrior, the Nick Nolte 06 classic. Collins, Smith inside, good find of Joe Johnson.
There you go.
Knocks down a 3.
Nice ball movement that time, but how about Howard? Howard played 3 guys on that possession.
That's got to go the other way. Oh, it's going to be called a trip on Collins. I thought Howard came down and bowled over Collins. Instead, Mark Davis says that Collins tripped Howard.
Now, this is always going to be tough. It's always tough when you have a star player. Keep an eye to the right of your screen. You see him as he's running right down the middle of the floor here. Now, he stepped into Collins knee to knee. All right, left knee to left knee. Now you say, who had position? Well, from that angle, that was very difficult to say who had position.
Well, the reason he tripped him is because Dwight Howard ran over him and knocked him down and his foot was there. If you're going to call the second one, you got to at least recognize the first. In any case, as Howard is making his free throws, here's Heather.
Mike, you were talking about Dwight Howard watching The Way of the Peaceful Warrior during that 8-day layoff. He said he'd seen it before, but this time he sat down with a pad and paper and actually took notes and learned quite a bit. He said, I learned to gain perspective and really to come to conclusions on my own and how to calm down better, keep my mind on the next possession, and stay composed. All things he did in Game 1 after being motivated by that movie.
Did he watch that, or did he watch J.J. Redick's free throw video? I mean, he's 5 or 6 in the line here. He'd take money off of Redick at the line here this evening.
With Jason Collins in the game, they don't have to play him. If you notice, Howard is laying back down inside and just clamming up that lane area. So there's a lot of pressure on Collins to make the correct pass.
Collins able to get that put back. It's a 4-point game. Lead's been as big as 9 for Orlando.
It's nice to see that they're scoring below the foul line.
Yes, they are. Jason Williams won a championship ring with Miami, the backup point guard in.
Oh,
Howard bowling through Collins. And that's going to be the 3rd call on Jason.
Wow, that's tough. See,
wow.
You're on the road, you're a coach, you don't want to get a tee and hurt your team right now. But see, that's difficult for Jason Collins. Keep an eye right here. See, that's an offensive foul. All right, he catches him with his left shoulder right in my number. Right in my number. That's got to be an offensive foul. But we can go back over the history of this league when we have great offensive centers who are strong in the upper body, and that's been in the history. When it comes that close, they're offensive players, they get the call. That's difficult if you're Collins because he has bruises now across the front of his chest.
And he's in disbelief, the 9th-year pro out of Stanford. He will head to the bench. He picked up 3 very quick fouls as this Orlando team off to a very good start offensively.
Now you can see everyone's shooting a high percentage, and they're getting what they want, except the game is still 28-23. Now Howard in Game 1 was 5 for 10 from the line, and throughout the playoffs is only shooting 40%. Big thing tonight, though, he's making them, and he's looking good.
6 of 8.
That's right.
That one, Vince Carter back tapping it. Jason Williams getting on this side of midcourt here with 80 seconds to go. So 3 fouls on Jason Collins in 1:27, and the lob for Howard.
You can't lose contact. You can't lose contact with a big guy. You cannot lose contact with any type of a score when the ball is out at the guard position.
Well, Randolph Morris came in. He was guarding him, and it was the first time he's been on the floor in this entire playoffs.
Mike, you got to have your forearm on him. I don't care where the forearm is, in the back, on the arm, or in the chest. But it cannot be that far of a pass without you even contesting the pass.
You talk about Mike Woodson keeping his composure, not getting a technical foul. At that timeout, he was chewing on Mark Davis's ear, the official. Didn't get it to. Jamal Crawford knocks down the outside shot, sixth man of the year. And it's a 5-point game. You know, we talk about officiating. Fans live to talk about officiating. It's so difficult, especially with the contact of big guys. But it's the difference in changing the tenor of a game. But Howard has handled it with quick double pumps, and that time he lost control.
Yeah, but he got hit. He got fouled on it.
He did. Vince Carter misses. Michael Petras, Air France dives in for the rebound. And the Magic have a fresh shot clock. Why not? Randolph Morris hasn't played the playoffs. Test him out. Oh, look at Howard inside. Pounded in a foul. He is Superman in this first quarter.
If you're going to double team like they just did, it's my job, if I'm playing him, not to let him spin baseline. Right now, there's the double. You can't let him spin baseline. You have help from the top with Josh Smith. So come on, this is just playing, bad IQ defense on a guy who's having an incredible game up until this point.
Lewis tipped it, but Johnson able to get a Chan MVP for the man who was fourth in the NBA, in the MVP voting this past season.
And the guy with the ball has got to give you some points. 1 for 11 in game 1, but he hit his first shot here. Foul to give.
Yep, Jason Williams is foul to give, uses it with 8.7 to go.
And they'll go right back to Crawford. They usually do in this situation. Also, another thing you have to watch out for is on the throw-in. Watch Joe Johnson getting a screen, on which they did earlier, and they got him up for a basket. They can't waste time there now.
Going at Rashard Lewis. Left-handed hook, no. Morris tip, no. Williams tip will count at the buzzer. So all the points for Orlando were scored by 3 players. Jameer Nelson had 4. Lewis had 10. That guy was the man in the opening quarter. Take one more peek at this last hard-working basket at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, give the Hawks a lot of credit here. They never gave up on this play. They get the main basket. But let's face it, the star of this quarter has been Dwight Howard. Not defensively, but at the offensive end. The hooks, the power moves on the baseline.
Already with 18 first quarter points. What's your strategy on managing the rotation and the matchups against him?
Well, I mean, again, we're trying to play him as best we can, and he's getting some calls. I thought a couple of calls were a little bit questionable, but we just got to keep banging. We taking the three-point shot away a little bit, but hey, he's alone. We just got to mix and choose when we come, and our bigs have just got to hang in there.
In game 1, 4 of your starters, a combined 10 of 43 from the field. How do you get them to be more efficient offensively tonight?
Well, tonight, the first quarter, they were. I thought Joe picked it up a little bit. Marvin, with the tip in there, kind of helped us a little bit. Bibby made a shot. We'll be fine offensively. We gotta handle that load down low.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Okay, Heather, thank you. The quarter starts with a foul on the Magic, driving inside. They pick up Dwight for his second foul, so they didn't get him on the offensive end, but they get 2 here, and Stan Van Gundy's got Marcin Gortat up.
Well, you got to get Horford going. He was 1 for 7 in game 1. This is a guy who's in the top 10 in field goal percentage at 56%. So he only played 7 minutes that quarter as they went to 3 other centers that picked up a ton of fouls. But right now, if Horford can establish an inside game in the rest of this game and then throughout the series, that will make Howard work and give them the opportunity to get him in foul trouble.
And he goes to the bench now with 2 fouls, so that changes the tenor of the game just a bit here as Gortat checks in. It's 32-29, the Magic lead by 3, and Hubie Ryan Anderson came in for the Magic in the break between quarters.
Yeah, I like the fact that Lewis and Howard were 10 for 11 in that first